Good morning. Thank you for joining us for this virtual session for Be Internet Legends from Google and Parent Zone. Today we're going to be talking to you about how you can keep your children safe and more confident online. My name's Chelsea, hello, and I'm part of the Parent Zone Be Internet Legends team, and I've been teaching this programme in primary schools for around 3 years now. As I'm leading the session, I'll be stopping to respond to some of your thoughts and questions as we go along. And we've also got Tim in the chat box. So Tim's one of our experts. So any questions that pop into your head, do type them in, and there is no such thing as a bad question. And in fact, this morning I will be asking you some questions. So make sure you've got those typing fingers at the ready. So just before we start, I just want to check that everybody can see me and the pictures around me as well. If the video quality isn't very good, you can try and press refresh in the browser, and you might notice a little cog at the bottom right of your screen. If you click that and select quality, you can change that video quality there depending on what your Wi-Fi or data can cope with. So this whole session will take about 30 minutes, so get yourself comfy, grab yourselves a brew, and let's begin. So now you might be worried that your child's spending more time online, and that's where Be Internet Legends can help. Now don't worry if you haven't heard of it before, I'm going to explain everything. Now we've been teaching Be Internet Legends in schools for 3 years with virtual assemblies and a full curriculum that's used in schools. And we really want to tell you about it too, because it's something that you can use at home if you want to. So in a nutshell, Be Internet Legends is a mix of easy to remember things about internet safety, digital well-being, and developing those healthy digital habits. And everything we do is about helping your children become more confident explorers of the online world. So it's a really tricky time right now. There's loads going on and you're probably juggling a lot. You might have kids at home thinking about working from home as well. And whilst you're at home, you're trying to stay in touch with all your friends and family. And as the situation in schools change, you might have one child going back into school for some of the time and another child staying at home. Now, it's a really, really confusing time, and different families will have different normals, but you're not alone. Across the world, 1.5 billion children are at home because of the pandemic. And this probably means that they're spending more time online, learning, playing, and staying in contact with friends and family. Now, this seems like a great time to ask you guys a question. So my question for you is this. Are your children spending more time gaming during lockdown? So I'd be really interested if you have got any thoughts around that. You could just answer the question or tell us maybe how much time they're spending, if it is more, if there is a difference there. So let's have a conversation about that. I'll be checking those comments. I'll give you a few minutes to type there. And if you've got any questions as well, don't forget to type them in the box and I'll be having a look at those soon. So wherever your children are right now, Be Internet Legends is here to help children use the internet safely and confidently, whilst keeping an eye on their digital well-being at the same time. Now, like I said, the programme includes a full internet safety curriculum and it's used in schools across the UK. And the programme's been developed by psychologists, the police, children's charities and education experts. So today we're going to explain what we're doing, and the key things really is about helping you remind your children some of those important internet safety messages that they've already been learning in school, and also helping you to make sure that they develop healthy digital habits. So our research told us that we need to focus on 5 simple messages. So we developed the Legends Code. Now, the Legends Code is the 5 most important things that your children need to remember when they're online. So we've got the first one, and that's Be Internet Sharp, think before you share. Be Internet Alert, check it's for real. Be Internet Secure, protect your stuff. Be Internet Kind, respect each other. And Be Internet Brave, when in doubt, discuss. So I will pause for a moment to have a look in that chat box. Any questions, let me know. But before I have a look, I just want to briefly talk about the digital wellbeing part of the programme. So we really encourage children to think about how technology makes them feel, the positives and the negatives, and really help them reflect on their own screen use. And this can be really helpful right now, especially as they're spending more time online, and it might even save you some of those screen time squabbles. So let me have a little look there in the chat. Oh, it's good that you can hear me nice and clear. Okay, so we've got someone talking about child using their console to keep in touch with friends and to play with random people. So we always recommend, if children are playing online with people they don't know, with strangers, if they are chatting about the game or talking about the game, then that can be okay. If they're talking how to complete the mission or the level and all the conversations about that, then that can be okay. But just have a chat with your child about not to share anything other than the game, so no personal information, and I'll talk about that a little bit in a moment. Also, screen time, I'll mention that a bit later as well, so I will touch on those questions a little bit later. So now I think that's it for now. So I'm going to take you into the Legends Code. So this is what I was briefly talking about when I was trying to answer that question, but I'll answer it better now. The first part of the code is Be Internet Sharp. And this is all about managing privacy and protecting your personal information online. So we always say to children in the assemblies, always think before you share. And whilst your children are stuck at home, they might want to share more than they normally would, but it's super important that they're just as careful as ever. Now, it's really useful to have a chat with them and think about the information that's okay to share and what should remain private. And like I've just been saying, have a conversation about what can you share with your close family. So really close family, you might share one thing with them. Then what would you share with your friends that might be slightly different than what you'd share with your close family? And then there's those strangers, so your online friends or strangers that you don't know. You wouldn't share what you'd share with your close family and friends with them online friends. And then what you're sharing with the wider online community. So really having a think about what they're sharing and who they're sharing it with. Next part of the code is Be Internet Alert, and this shows children how to check it's for real. So we really want children to understand that not everything they see online is real. So this part of the code kind of gives the children the skills to be their own detective. So spotting the clues that something might be fake, misleading or a scam. So we advise children to always check on a link before clicking it, and have a look in the address bar to see if they can see a padlock there. We talk about if information sounds too good to be true, that it probably is. We advise children to cross-check information that they're finding online, and if they're ever unsure, to always talk to you as their trusted adult who can help them out. Next, we've got Be Internet Secure. Now, this one's all about protecting your stuff. So this is where we talk about keeping information safe online. Now, there are some really simple security things your children can do at home, like creating a mega strong password. So for a mega strong password, we say it needs to have at least 8 characters, and those characters need to be a mix of lowercase letters and uppercase letters with numbers and symbols. We talk to your children about the password needing to be something that's really hard for somebody else to guess. So not just like the name of your favourite sports team or your pet, but it has to be something easy to remember. And also have different passwords for your account. So that's something you can have a chat with your children about. We also talk to your children about making sure that they're logging out of their accounts when they've finished using them. And that might feel really strange now if you're at home and you're using a shared computer or device or tablet, because it's within the family home and it's in a safe environment. But just reminding children, if they get into the good habits now of logging out of their accounts, then they'll know that when they go back into the outside world. Next, we've got Be Internet Kind. So this part of the code helps children understand the ways that communicating online is different to communicating in person. So it's really about thinking carefully about the messages they send and how they come across, keeping the messages they send fun, and finding all those positive ways they can stay in contact with their friends and family online. And last is be internet brave. When in doubt, discuss. Now this, we tell the children, is the most important part of the code. We want to give children the confidence and space to talk about anything that's on their mind when they've been online, even if it's something that makes them feel embarrassed or worried. So maybe you could try and make it a routine part of your day to talk about what they've been doing online. So it could be when you're out on a walk, or before you're having your dinner or your tea. So having a chat there. What have they been doing on the internet? Who have they been talking to? What have they been learning? And then if they do have a problem, they know there's a part of the day where they can tell you that problem. And they will be used to teach at school, like constantly checking in and making sure they're all right. So this can be really helpful for you to continue at home. So now I've got another discussion point for you. So is it easy to get your children to talk about what they do online? So have a little think about that. If you have got any top tips, something you do at home, what really works for your children, then share them, because it's a nice place to share some parental practice. And I'm just going to have a little look in the chat box. So how can I teach my child to check that a website's safe? So a few of those things I talked about in Be Internet Alert, so I'll just do a quick recap. So having a look for a padlock in the address bar, which shows that a website can be more secure and safer to use. Cross-checking information. If they read something in one place, not just to always trust what you believe, have a look in different places. If you get a pop-up, it might have said you've won a prize. Make sure you have a discussion with your child that have they actually entered a competition? Why would they win a prize? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And always, if they're ever unsure, talk to you about it, because you are the adult, you've got the life experience, so you can always help your children. Hope that's helped answer your question. So I'm going to move on, but do get those typing fingers out, because I would like to hear if you have got any tips. Or if you've not, we've got some tips we can share about getting your children to speak about what they've been doing online. So we have got loads of resources to share, but before I get to those, I want to talk about the digital wellbeing part of the programme. So this links to one of the questions I got earlier. I got a question asking, how much time should your child be spending online? So with digital wellbeing, there is no fixed rules about how much time a child should spend online. So instead of rules, we try to look to feelings. So we really want to encourage children to think about how technology makes them feel and how these feelings change over time. So we do 2 activities in schools, what you could try at home with your children. So one activity is whilst your child's online, playing a game, for example, we ask them to draw a picture, draw an emoji of their feelings whilst they're playing a game. And this allows them to track if those feelings change over time. So it might be they start the game and draw a happy emoji because they're really excited to be playing. And then they might struggle on a part of the game and feel frustrated. And they might leave the game feeling frustrated, but then this is something that they can be aware of and know then if they do leave the game frustrated, how do they deal with that back in the offline world. Another activity we ask children to do is to keep a diary, an online diary, tracking what they've been doing online. So it might be that your child you might think they're spending too much time online or a lot of time online, but actually if they're spending time online and that online time is varied, so they might be spending some of that time doing their online learning, some of that time being creative, designing or developing something. They might be using some of that time doing some personal hobbies or interest learning. They might be spending time playing games and then spending time speaking to friends and family. Although all that activity is online, it's varied, so there's lots of different things going on. And then if you've got this wellbeing diary, you can make sure that there's lots of offline activities and things they're doing there as well. And by doing this, it helps you spark up conversations whilst trying to keep things positive and supporting your children to make those healthy choices on their own. So if they keep doing this, if they keep doing the diary or the emoji exercise, hopefully it's something that then they can start analysing and seeing for themselves how tech and how the internet's making them feel, and when they do need some offline activity too. So that is a whistle-stop tour through the Be Internet Legends programme. Now, we do understand that fitting internet safety into everything else you're doing from home can feel like another task, and we really want to help. So over the next few weeks, we're going to launch more online resources that you can do with your children, and we've got some really good things you can do straight after this session. But before I tell you about those, I'm just going to have a little look at these comments. No new questions, which is great. If anybody wants to answer the question, my question to you was, do you find it easy to talk to your children online? So it'd be good to hear a bit more information about that, and if you've got any tips to share them. But I'll move on because I want to tell you about my favourite thing about the whole programme. So this is my favourite resource. It is Interland. So Interland is an online game what we made, and children absolutely love it. So as the children explore Interland, they're completing challenges based on the Legends Code, helping them learn to be fearless online explorers and having loads of fun whilst they learn. We have a link for this game at the end of the video, and I'm sure Tim can pop it in the chat there. There he is. And yeah, challenge your children. See who can get the highest score on a level. Maybe loser has to do the dishes or something like that. But it's loads of fun, even for adults. There's one level, Mindful Mountain, that I just can't do. So if you can do that, or if your children can do that, let us know and I'll be really, really impressed. Now, if you've still got some time after adapting to remotely working, trying to get your online shopping slot, teaching your children all they've got to do, we have got more activities, and they link to each pillar, and they're designed to do together as a family and to be loads of fun. And like I said, we've got loads more that we'll be adding over the coming weeks, so do keep checking. And I'm sure Tim can pop a link for that at the end. In the chat, sorry. Now, we know it's not easy to keep your children entertained and educated at home, but Be Internet Legends is here to help. So it'll help you make sure that they know how to stay safe online whilst they play and stay connected. So I've just had a question. Do you think parents should set limits to on-screen time? So that is really up to you as a parent. You know your child best. You have that relationship with your child. Talk to them, have a conversation. Like I said, find out what they're doing on screen, then have a discussion with them. I think it's really good for your children's, for them to develop their own digital well-being. If it's a conversation and you're both discussing how much screen time you think you should have, and then make some kind of compromise, some kind of deal, your child's thinking then about their well-being whilst online. Tim's also said there, try giving them limits before they start gaming. So we say this, this is a question we get a lot about children playing games, and then how long should they be playing games for. So one of something we advise is, if your child's playing a game, let's say it's an hour before dinner or tea's ready, so they're playing a game and they've got an hour to play, and this game's so immersive and they're playing with their friends are relying on them to complete the mission, complete the game. And if it's just tea's ready now, finish the game, then that can feel to your child like, oh, I wasn't quite ready to finish, I'm just being pulled out of this immersive world that I was in. And that's when arguments and children can really struggle with that. So we advise, if they've got an hour to play the game, maybe give them a 15-minute warning so they know they need to start wrapping up the game that they're playing, or having that discussion if they've only got an hour to play but the online game takes an hour and a half, that actually that might not be the right choice of game. So having that discussion, you've got X amount of time to play. Can you complete what you need to do in that time? If the answer is yes, then you can play it. But if no, it might be better to pick a different game to play. And I think Tim's popped some more resources there in the link. So I hope that's helped answer your question. Let me have a look. No more questions there. So I hope this has been really useful. Thanks for listening and taking part in this session. I've really enjoyed chatting to you all, and I think your questions have been absolutely brilliant. But if you do leave this session and a question pops into your mind, or you've got a question that you didn't feel comfortable asking in a open space, there's an email address on my screen now. So any questions, like I said in the beginning, there is no such thing as a bad question. So just pop it into an email and somebody from the team, one of our experts in HQ, will get back to you. Do check out the resources, especially Interland, because like I say, children absolutely love it and you'll have a great time. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed the session and we'll see you again soon. Oh, before I go, if you have enjoyed it, we've got more sessions coming up. So do let your other parent, friends and family know. So do share the information. They can check on the website when we've got more sessions, because we want to spread the Be Internet Legends code. We say to the children, we're creating internet legends across the country, so we want to create some parent internet legends too. But that's goodbye from me. Thank you so much for listening. See you again soon.